the next session. Again, if there's anybody that you know that needs to be here and is not here yet, nudge them. For my saying, she has set one of our goals for the remaining part of this year to learn a new CRM tool, and she decided to choose Salesforce, which fantastic. I could connect you to Jasmine, right? And she can bombard you with all of the tools that she has that can help you. Send me a DM, something that you're happy to do. Yeah, I'm really glad that we're able to contribute to this goal of yours. Fantastic. You send me a DM so we can do that. Fantastic. Okay. So without further ado, we're gonna begin the next session. And today we're going to be focused further on application of CRMs. We're going to be focusing on making decisions from a leadership point of view as a sales lead, making decisions with CRM data. Today we're going to have Kenneth Akan. Is someone I'm really super excited about that we have here. He first took a session, I think, in the community. He's taking a couple of sessions in the community. So if you're not a member, you are missing. And then we have our tech sales. We had our tech sales con this year, physical event, Ayaba, in May. If you were there, let me see emojis, let me see energy. If you are tech sales con this year, fantastic. Let me see all of the energy. Kenneth was there as well, and he was in a panel. It was really exciting. And today we're excited to have him again. For us to bring somebody 3 times, you should know that, you know, is loaded. Let me put him on so that he's ready for us. Yep. Yeah, hi Kenneth. How are you doing today?
Hi everyone. Can everyone see and hear me?
Loving the look.
No, please don't do that. I was thinking, what do I put on? I mean,
loving the look. You know?
Oh gosh. Oh, Titi, how are you doing? How have you been?
I'm very well. I'm very well. Very well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing today?
I am excellent. It's a delight to be here. Thank you very much for, like I always say, finding me however you find me, because I'm not one of those people that's very out there. You know, my room is my favorite place in the world. But you
That's what we
always
do.
find me. You always
That's what
find me, and you always bring me to meet new people. Because when I come here, it's more for me. It's more about learning than sharing. Because um, I get to engage people and also ask them questions that I get useful information from. So thank you. I joined Jasmine's session on Friday, I think. I couldn't join all because I was in between several things, but I joined Jasmine's session. I haven't used Salesforce, and I always had this perception that Salesforce was the hardest to use CRM tool, but that myth was demystified on Friday, apparently. And I was also able to join Gertrude's session yesterday. Of course, I wouldn't miss that. I was somewhere, but I joined briefly, and I also stayed for the early parts of the panel session, and it was fantastic. I wish I joined Zio Molara session now and also Napa session. But of course, I'm in the community, so I'll get to see the resources later. So yeah, and I must thank you for the incredible work you're doing here at the with the TSP community. This is, like I always tell you, and Dara and Toye, this is I wish we had something like this in the early part of our own careers. You know, when I began my own career, say in 2012, I wish I had a community like this. Or let's even move all the way to 2018, 2019, when I began doing tech sales at a different level. I only learned from, I was fortunate to work in an organization that had a very large sales team. So I was a sponge. That was not the place to show myself. I just learned from everybody real quick. I was soaking from everyone so fast that today, those who were my seniors now were at the same level, if not, at the same level in our careers. And they see that you've invested so much. You learn from a lot of people. So that's what I would say to everyone here. As much as you can, the two things happen to you when you go to different places. It's either you go to that place to learn or you go to that place to pour. So you should always know that the first one always helps you do the second one better. Always assume that you're going there to learn. That if there's any opportunity to drop a few things, then you can out of the abundance of what you have. So yes, thank you very much, Titi Lokwe. You are amazing. You are amazing. Thank you to you,
Oh,
Adara,
thank
and
you.
Tony, and the entire team.
Thank
All right,
you.
it's good to be here. Wow, this is difficult because now it's the third day. I don't know if there's anything else to share because
Let me help. Let me help. Kenneth is a very busy salesman, right?
oh
Again, he
God.
mentioned how it is our job at TSP to look for these hidden gems that are hiding in their offices, drag them out so that everyone can learn from them. And he's an amazing person that I mentioned this is like the third time we're calling on Kenneth, and he's always shown. He is a revenue leader that has had over 12 years of experience. And when there is conversations around driving revenue growth, leading high performing teams, you will find Kenneth. And not only does he do sales and in drive revenue, he's also a TV man. He produces a tech show on television, utilizes his deep understanding of technology and communication skills to create super engaging yet, educating content when it comes to tech. And he's currently a growth consultant on several tech companies, here in Nigeria. So today, milk from Kenneth as much as you can. I know we've had like 2 amazing days, but then today is the day for us to put everything under one calendar. And Kenneth, today we want to see from your standpoint as a growth leader, want to see from your standpoint as a revenue leader on how CRM as an essential to, your achievements for your ability to be able to drive revenue goals for each of the companies that you work with and each of the teams that you work with. We've seen from other people's point of view, and trust me, we want to see from your point of view as a revenue leader that has replicated success in multiple organizations. So lead us into your world. Show us how you're able to make these tools, work for you in the way that you need. So over to you now. Guys, like I mentioned, bombarding with all of the questions that you might have. So spotlights off of me and over to you, Kenneth. If you need me to display your slides for you, let me know. If you want to do it at your end, let me know what works best for you.
I think it's best you do it. I think it's best you do it. Because I might share my screen and show something else. Oh, okay, let me just do it. So I have a lot of things to share. So I think having joined a few sessions and seen the quality of conversations, quality of information being shared so far since we started, I think more of what I want to do, and also I think it's also intentional that Titi, you made us share our slides, so we got to see each other's slides somehow. Some of us, um, so I realized, okay, what I should do more is storytelling because I'm a storyteller, really. I will tell more stories, less talk, but answer some questions. I really want to answer questions, really. Why your boss acts the way he does, why it seems like everybody's going crazy about CRM, So yeah, it's good to be here again. I am super excited and I'm also nervous because this is the third day and a lot has been shared so far. Now let me share my screen. Am I able to share everything? Can I share desktop? Yes. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Be nice to know when you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Oh, great, 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 great. So what I'm talking about today is using CRM data for business decisions, forecasting, team behavior insights. We'll be doing more answering questions, really. That's what I'm hoping to do. So I'll ask you, grab water, grab your notes and everything. Because we're going to have a good time. And I'm hoping to wrap this up real quick so we can have time to talk, more. Oh, great, great, great. So yes, a little bit about myself. Sales and revenue growth leader is what I'm known to do. But Titi has casted me to say now I'm on television. So it's interesting how a tech sales guy was contacted by a national broadcasting station like Silverbird Television to produce and anchor the tech shows on television and on radio. So I produce Tech Hub on STV and Tech Thursday on Rhythm 93.7, where we get to spotlight the good in our ecosystem. We get to talk about technology and how it affects those at home. So I used to think before when they reached out to me, like, does anybody still watch TV? Because the TV in my house is maybe I want to watch Netflix, which I hardly do. So apparently I've done this for how long now? Well over a year. And the numbers came, and I realized that my show is number 7 in Nigeria on television, and my show on radio is number 6. And I'm like, what? People watch TV. I didn't know that. So I'm still a salesman. So now I'm now selling the shows I have to different organizations. So once a salesman, always a salesman. And my knowledge of using data with CRM or not makes me stand out. So I've been able to, my small life, I've worked in a few interesting places. I want to just keep it to this 4. I've done a bit more than that, but yeah, Reliance. So these are the places I have done tech sales. Other places I've done marketing, I've done communication, I've done strategy, but where I've done core tech sales, Reliance Info Systems, Seamless HR, Simfix, Speed HR. And I am one of those very few people, very privileged people to understand the HR market very well in Nigeria and in Africa because of my work at Seamless HR, Simfix, and Paid HR. I love good books. I love to read. You would hardly find me without my earphones. Either I'm listening to an audiobook or a message or good music. I enjoy traveling. I'm on leave. I'm on leave the whole of September into October. I'm on leave. I haven't gone on this long leave in about 2 years, so I took this time out. I'll be leaving Lagos on Tuesday again. I'll come back on Sunday because I have to be in church. Then I'll travel again. I just love traveling and meeting new people. So yeah, I am in love with, let me not put it that way, but Afang, because I'm from Akwa Ibom. My mom is from Abia, so of course Ofe Onugbu by default, and Amala because I've lived most of my life in the south, in Lagos and Ogun State. So I'm in a love affair with these delicacies. If you want to go right by me, just offer me any of that and we're good. So what are we going to talk about today? We'll talk about the human side of data. We'll talk about what CRM data really is. And we'll talk about CRM for smarter decision making for businesses and about forecasting. I'm glad Gertrude got to do a lot of good with forecasting yesterday, so I won't touch so much, but I'll just tell a few stories around that. I'll talk about CRM for team behavior insights, how your boss knows whose salary to increase, whose targets to increase, and who will remain on the same spot for a long time. It's all in the CRM. And of course, I'll give a little case study of my work, what I did with CRM at Paid HR, then how to make CRM work for you, then some common CRM mistakes that we get to see in every organization, then of course, how to build a data-driven culture, and of course, immediate action plans, among others. So let's start from here. What's the problem today? I think I am not an authority on this, but I know a few. I know a little bit about this that I heard a lot of people asking questions around organizations not using CRM, they're using Excel. It's because a lot of organizations still make decisions from, I think we should. Leaders still make gut feel decisions. They don't move with data. Forecasts are unpredictable. You hear organizations say this, I think we're very much on track to make $4 million next year. And you're like, yes, we can do it. Yeah, all things are possible. Yeah. But at the end of the day, lamba. Because there's no story. Where's that coming from? Teams are pressured without clarity. When you see a salesperson working with so much pressure, sales is stressful, but it's much more stressful when you're moving blind without data to guide you. So when organizations say they don't, CRM is expensive, it's like someone saying he's going to climb a 12-story building by the staircase without railings. So those things are not they're not preventive, they're protective. CRM is like a guard that guards you from making errors, making blind errors. And of course, where CRMs exist, the data is terribly underutilized. That's the problem I've seen today. And the human side of data, what I call the human side of data, is that sales teams are drowning in data but starving for insights. Even from your Excel, for those that don't have a standard CRM tool, from your Excel, your normal spreadsheets, I will show you a few things I've done with my own data to show me intel. I can tell intel about a particular market, about a particular industry, from just normal CRM, how to sit down and clean it out without doing VLOOKUP. I don't know how to do VLOOKUP, anything like that, but just being able to sit down my data and begin to arrange it the way I want. CRM is the heartbeat of customer acquisition. So I am big on customer acquisition before customer satisfaction, because it's only a customer that you have that you can satisfy. So, and when we look at a trained eye looks at a company's CRM and can tell which customers will churn just by looking at the intel. I've done that over time. So CRM is not just a tool, it's the mirror of your business relationships. So I always tell my teams that when used right, CRM data empowers strategy. And strategy fuels growth. And growth builds trust. Because if you stay in a company where for 2 years you're struggling to hit your targets, you don't trust yourself. You don't trust that the company has your back. Everybody's afraid. There's no growth. You want to leave. But when you stay in a place where every strategy is designed from data, is design thinking, there's design thinking in that strategy, you are seeing growth, however small, geometric, exponential, whatever, you are seeing growth. You know you can trust this organization with your future. So it starts with data gathering. And every data point represents a human interaction. Everything in the CRM is a person trying to be understood. That's how we see it. Because the CRM is about people and organizations that are run by people. So every data point it represents a human interaction. So I say behind every data point is a person waiting to be understood. I'll get to speak about that later. So why is this topic, why is it very important to me? Why does it matter to me? I think it matters to me because, Nigeria has happened. Sorry, guys, I'm in Nigeria. I hope power comes back soon. Okay, let me see. That's what I can do about that. I hope you can still see my face. I hope you can still see my face. Great. All right. So why does this topic matter to me? I began my sales career in 2012 in Tamil Nadu, India. And I was working for an American multinational in India, and did that for a few years. Came back to Nigeria in 2016, I guess, then moved into strategy. And in 2019, early 2019, thereabout, I guess, I joined Reliance Info Systems. I was supposed to be in the center of excellence team because of my work in strategy, my work in, sales, but at a different level. I've done more inbound sales at that time. So the CEO of Reliance Info Systems, Reliance, by the way, happens to be one of Microsoft's top partner for West Africa, Nigeria, Botswana, and around the world. And the CEO was particular about the COE team. He wanted a fusion of sales and marketing, someone that has an idea has understanding of how to fuse data and tell the sales team what to look out for, and also use that data of what the sales team is facing in the market to help the marketing team know how to design campaigns and all that. So that was my first time using a CRM, was in 2019, and it was Microsoft Dynamics. That thing was complicated. 2019, Microsoft Dynamics, it was complicated, even if I say so. Now, the business had a challenge having sales managers, what do I say now? Comply with CRM usage. So it was difficult getting intel that he wanted. So the CEO said, you know what, let me just scatter this COE team. One person go to sales, one person go to marketing. So I was moved to marketing and some other persons were left in sales. But after a while, the management would always call for me to go for meetings with them. And the way I would take notes, the way I would, from my meeting notes, there was so much intel. And the CEO felt, let me move this guy to sales. He's a salesman. He has a way of extracting intelligence that we can build on. Like I create foundational knowledge to build on. And that's how they moved me into the sales team, which I wanted to run from because I'd done sales for a few years, about 6 years at that time. I wanted to run into strategy, marketing, but sent me back to sales. So that's always tell people sometimes you don't choose sales, sales choose you. Now, My colleagues did not like me, and some did not like me till today because of what I did at that time. Oh, I made their lives miserable. Yes, I did, and I'm known for that. If you ask around, I make people's life miserable when they don't do the right thing. And the right thing is being able to live up to the promises you made to the business with the tools you've been given, because some of these tools are very expensive. CRM tools are expensive, you know. So I made life miserable because that was my KPI. Ken, my KPI was end of day. CRM has to be updated. We have to be able to, at management level, be able to see what deals we have, how much is going to come in, from where and why, and how. So these guys will be like, I'll do it on the weekend. I'm like, no, CEO needs it today. So when I was able to push the team, then I left me in sales team. So it gave me foundational knowledge of how important CRM was. And going forward from that time, I became a CRM champion everywhere I found myself. So when we listen to data, we hear our customers, we hear our teams, and we hear our future. Because like I always say, what you have in your CRM is not people talking to you. I can look at someone's CRM and say, Oga, you don't have any deal here because everybody here is lying to you. We can tell if it's actually imputing or using the CRM the way it should be used. So I always say, when we listen to the data, because our data is always speaking to us. When we listen to our data, we hear our customers. If the timing is right, if the product is right, if the price is right, we hear them. We hear our teams. If there's a competency gap, someone who's good at prospecting but is bad at closing, bad at negotiating, someone who's bad at prospecting but is good at keeping relationships, is good at following up. I can see the mix now. I say, okay, I'll move these guys who are better at prospecting to the SDR team or sales operations or whatever it is, move these guys into the other stage of the conversation, then tie everybody together. So 3 persons can work on a particular account because I'm seeing the data and I can tell my future. I can see my pipeline. I can see where the business is going. All right. So what is CRM data really? Of course, we've talked about this. I won't overflog it, but like I say, CRM is speaking. CRMs are always speaking, whether it's a paid for CRM, standard CRM, or it's your Excel spreadsheet you're using as a makeshift. So I say CRM data is actually speaking 3 languages at all times. It's telling us about our customers, which I've mentioned, their behaviors, their patterns, telling us about our pipeline, it's telling us about our teams, the gaps, the opportunities for improvement. Let me give a story. So I'll interject with a lot of stories, right? I've worked with teams where, say, 2 persons were hired same day, they resumed same team, they have same salary, they have same targets, and in 8 months, I'm pushing for 1 person to be promoted, or 1 person's might not be promoted. Let's say promotion now, but I'm pushing that this guy's salary should be doubled and his target should be, multiplied by 5x because I think he can do it. So what am I looking at? They both resume same day, zero, same slate, same day, same role, same everything. 1 person has 40 accounts or 40 logos. Let me use logos or accounts in a CRM. Another one has 1 person has 40, another person has, say, 170 in CRM. The one that has 40 has deals worth 800 million. No, let me know that figure because that figure is very important. That one has it has deals worth, say, 300 million, the one that has 40 deals. But the one that has 170 something deals has deals worth around 100 million. So now, because he has deals worth around 100 million, every week he's closing something. Every week I'm guaranteed of 2 or 3 closes. Every week, 2 or 3, at least 2 or 3. But the one that has 40 accounts and has 300 million, we might go a whole quarter and he just closes 60 million. So now, I would like feedback at this point. Who do you think I should promote? Or who do you think I should double their salaries and increase their salaries, increase their targets? Who do you think is doing better? A, that has 70 accounts in their CRM, and the deal state is busy, they're closing stuff every week, however small, sometimes it's 5 million, sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's 12, or the other one that has 40 accounts and has a pipeline that's about, say, 300 million, but in the whole quarter might not close anything. I'd like to see responses. I'd like to see some responses. A, okay, A, okay. I would like more responses. A, okay. A with 117 million cash at hand is better than, there's a guarantee. I like this. Cash flow, great, great, great. You guys are super smart. I don't think I should be the one teaching in this class. You guys, I should be learning from you people. So thank you very much for that, for your responses. Yes, thank you for your response. Everybody went with A. So of course, that was the case. So, but the other guy closes bigger deals. No doubt. He closes bigger deals. Now they confront one. I asked that once. One actually came back to say, you know what? I think I need help. I have small deals. I have small deals, and the person came to complain. I have small deals, you know. Or the other one was like, oh, I have very big deals. I have very big stuff in my CRM, yeah, yada 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 yada. And of course, they both mean a lot to me. I respect the grind, but the CRM was telling me a different story. I could forecast adequately. I could tell their individual performance. I could tell their individual strengths. I could tell that one was a better closer and was a better negotiator than one was a better prospector. Is there any such word? English. One prospects better. One was better at prospecting, right? That's the guy with A. That's the first person, A. He was quick to anybody he sees he's selling to. So I realized if I'm able to source high quality leads for this guy, very large enterprise deals for this guy, he'll be able to do more as well. But the other guy, you just want someone to prospect for him and just give it to him to close. Just arrange demo, he closes. Arrange demo, he closes. And that's why sometimes you're in the same organization with some of your colleagues and they're any better than you because of the CRM. Because I'm able to tell the interactions you're having. I'm able to tell the buying signal the customer is showing. I'm even able to tell what customer is going to churn. I'm able to tell the churn risk we have. I'm able to tell how effective you are in converting. You can't be giving me 5:1 and expect me to be happy with you compared to someone who's giving me 2:1 or 3:1. So for every 3 deals that you open up in the deal stage, you close one, as against someone who's doing 6:1. So for every 6 new invoice, you will only close one. So these are the things that the management is looking at, or the leadership of the organization is looking at sometimes that people do not see. So like I say, CRM is speaking 3 languages at all times. Speaking about your customer behavior, is speaking to you about your pipeline and forecasting, speaking to you about your team performance. So now I know what kinds of trainings my team need part-time. The ones that is a lone wolf who doesn't like to collaborate. Everything in the CRM is straightforward. I did this, and that's it. And I'm seeing the other guy who's super collaborative, who's saying, oh, I did this with this person. He has a relationship that I'm trying to leverage on. We've spoken today. I was supposed to go there together next tomorrow. Oh, this guy is fantastic. I'm able to see that, So let's move along. Let's move along real quick. CRM for smarter decision making, for smarter business decisions. So it's high time businesses move from gut feeling to data-driven confidence. I once joined an organization, and during the interviews, it was high-level role. During the interviews, I was to report to no, let me not say that because that's easy to give away. I was reporting to high up, maybe number 3 in the business. So for Africa region. And I was particular about this. I said, just give me a glimpse of what your current CRM looks like. I'm not moved by Lambda. Let me see what your CRM looks like. And I saw their deal stage. Deal stage had 30 billion naira, about $30 million. I was excited. So I checked average deal size was around, it varied anyway, because we're 3 lines of businesses and I was going to head one. Average deal size was around $500,000 between, so it depends, $500,000, give or take, yes. I was excited. Or more. For a machine like me, let's go. I've already in my mind, I'm already thinking, we'll do it here, multi-million-dollar deals, we'll do it here. Only for me to get into the business and realize, oh, okay, there should be the CRM I wanted to see. But they didn't show me the other side of the CRM that if I'd had enough time to look at, I'd have not made that decision to move. They don't use that CRM. It's just like a library of books. It was like an inventory bookkeeping store. Just enter it, but they don't use it. And the CRM had been on for maybe a year or two, but they don't use it. So there are deals there that were 6 years old. Oh yeah, there were deals that were 6 years old. They didn't close, nothing moved, nothing is moving to the left or to the right. It's just there. And nobody uses the CRM. So I realized it was a challenge, it was a problem, you know. So a lot of businesses today, and then not so I was going to land the story here. They told me my target was going to be $4 million. And I said, no, targets don't scare me. If you like, bring it 100 million. I don't be moved by numbers. Numbers don't move me. So I said, that's fantastic. It's doable, but let's sit down and discuss. How did we arrive at this number? What did the business do last year? If there was, okay, if there's someone maybe I was taking over from, what did the person do last year? These are important questions. From your CRM, I don't have answers to this. So how do we arrive at this number is what I should carry. 4 billion, that's $4 million. I'm not scared. I can get deals that can do, you know, maybe 1 million times four and I'm done. But I need to be sure what guarantees do I have? What support systems do I have? And that is always answered by the CRM. But when there is no CRM and it's not the or is underutilized, I'm moving blind. So where did our highest sale come from last year? What regions, what industry, what sector, what products, what line of business? To know how to arrange, or do I need to recruit more people here? Do I need to take this on myself? There was not enough information. When you have accurate data, I like to interchange data for CRM. You're able to prioritize leads based on engagement and likelihood to convert. So today when some people go for interviews, they'll ask you, how many, I'm tired of that question anyway, how many bank CIOs do you know? So I always push back by saying, even if my father is a CIO of Union Bank and what I'm trying to sell, they don't need, it can't help me. It doesn't matter who you know. It does sometimes, but there's some situations where who you know does not matter. Do they need what you're selling? Is there data to suggest that in this industry, there are only 25 companies, but 16 of those companies use a solution that's competing with ours? So there's a market, or do we need to go and create new markets? So who's likely to convert quick? Who's likely to engage with us and want to buy what we're selling? And with a CRM, the business is able to allocate resources. That sometimes marketing say our budget was slashed, we're not able to use Lucia, we're not able to. It's because even the Excel you're using, you're not showing enough need for them to go deeper than what you've done. I'll show you a few things. I'll show you a few things that can make your business say, this is what I have done so far. I need you to get us a paid tool that can help us take it from where I've gotten to. So data gives leaders the courage to act with clarity. So if you're a revenue leader, the way I can challenge management for my team is because of the data we have, what we're doing with our Excel, what we're doing with CRM, where we need to go from where we are. I hope I'm making sense. And CRM for forecasting, this I'll touch very briefly because Gertrude did an amazing job with this yesterday. So I said, predicting the future with precision. Forecasting is not fortune telling, it's pattern recognition because you see patterns. Like I say, it is speaking, you see patterns. Because I've sold HR solutions in Nigeria, that certain industries, if you come to me, I know you're wasting my time. Schools, even if you're a British school, Canadian international school, French international school, they don't use HR solutions. I may be wrong now, but from data I was working with for a long time, or I've been working with for a long time, if you're going to sell a HR solution to manufacturing, if it doesn't have time tracking elements, you're wasting your time. If you're going to sell a HR tool to FSI, if it doesn't have performance management tool, you're wasting your time. So you see different industries have different things that matter to them because we've seen that data. I'm able to forecast that, great, we'll have a new feature we can go to market with. And with this, we're able to win 12 new of the largest banks because we have this and they're looking for this. We can use historic data to model our future, the future of our revenue, where the money is coming from. So I said, forecasting is one of the most stressful jobs for any sales leader. That thing stresses me out. When what's her name now? From Jasmine from Salesforce was saying they do forecasting every week. I'm like, what? Every week? That's interesting. That thing stresses me out, especially if you're moving blind. There's no data. But of course, looking at what I later got to understand why they can do forecasting every week because they have such a rich tool, Salesforce, to help them do that. It can be stressful. Because for instance, now you're in my team and I'm asking you what's going to close. You're telling me, so I went for a wedding on Saturday and I met Dangote. So he told us that we should come to his office on Monday. That does not help me. It doesn't help me because sometimes that's what people put in CRM. It's handy. It's handy. Trust me. It can come in handy, but I'm moving blind. You know, with CRM tools, you're able to spot seasonal trends and buying cycles. For instance, while I was at PHR, we're working on the white label solution where you can take PHR, slap your brand on it, and sell. So behind the engine is PHR, but the surface you can be anything. The government signed the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration allowed what do I want to call this now? Local government autonomy. The autonomy was granted to local governments to now have their own accounts and can run their own payroll. And I got hold of that information. I said, "Oh, we have 774 local governments in Nigeria, so we have 12 states, and let's go to the government with this. Let's go to state governments and see that okay, it's a new day. Local governments that's been given autonomy. States, you can give them this tool, but you can control it. And it worked. And I was in active conversations with 12 states because I could spot seasonal trends. I could spot trends based on the data I have. That okay, people are requesting for this white label thing. I'm seeing consultants asking for it. Consultants were asking. A lot of people that were not businesses that will use our solution were coming to because of okay, so I engaged one. What's going on? Oh no, we have a client that they're trying to build, but let's just give them this one. I said, okay. And with CRM tools, I'm able to tell buying cycles of not just my existing customers, but even my people patronizing my competitors. My face is becoming dark. Let me turn. Nigeria happens to you while you're busy making other plans. For real. I hope my face is still bright enough for everyone to see when I do this. Yep, great. Great. I'll just leave this way. Looks very, very funny, but bear with me. Bear with me. All right. So, what was I saying? Talking about data, spotting trends and all of that. Yeah. So you're able to tell not just your own buying cycle, but also the buying cycle of those using your competitors. I took out a competitor in the Nigerian market because I could spot the buying cycle of their major customers. A major competitor with me. I took out their entire customer base with data because there's an intel gathering sheet that I created for my team. Who are they using? They're not using me. I need to know. So I tell my salespeople, we need to know who they are using. They're not using us. So once we found out who they were using, when those guys had a challenge, I don't want to mention their name, but I already know who I'm talking about. When there was a challenge on social media, I went after all of them. Nothing hostile, but I just said, "Oh, we have this new feature you want to try because we have cross-border payments. I know you want this because we've been following you for a bit." And fell swoop, like domino effect, was good. So with CRM, you're able to track pipeline velocity and deal progression. You can tell, like, if we don't have a CRM, how would I be able to tell that this guy, I need to make a certain changes for these guys. They're able to do certain things better. He converts better. His deals are moving faster. So I think I should give him more big deals to close, and guarantees me that there's revenue coming from this guy every time. Yeah. So CRM for team behavior insights. And this is about empowering people through data. Empowering people through data. Too many stories are coming to mind, but I'm thinking, which one should I share? CRM isn't just about customers, like I mentioned. It reviews your team's story too. Who's effective at closing, who struggles at prospecting, and who focuses on quality versus quantity. So I once coached a rep who logged fewer calls than others, but consistently closed bigger deals. So this was another story of someone else who he felt anything on the CRM can be jinxed. You know, people that have this superstition. I was there too until I was made to be the compliance officer for CRM usage at my organization at the time. Because someone says, I used to have two colleagues, I don't want to mention their names now. They say anytime we mention something on our sales call, I feel it's jinxed. And I felt that way too. Like if I don't mention this deal and I just keep working close blindly and just pop it up on CRM and write it as closed, I thought I was doing myself a favor. Aha, until it was time for appraisal. And I realized that I was shooting myself in the foot and I was not helping my leader, my sales manager, my head of team, because she was not able to forecast adequately to management. She's telling them on Monday, we don't know what's going to close. We're closing or banking on this. And on Friday, 4 deals just pop up, pop from everyone. And they're like, you don't even have control of your team, you know. So with a CRM that's well utilized, I'm able to track activity levels. So Gertrude yesterday was talking about micromanaging people. I think anyone that complains about being micromanaged needs to be micromanaged. I think anyone that complains about, so that I'm a bit contrarian to popular opinion. Anyone that complains about, I don't like being micromanaged needs to, because, you know, so because if you have a CRM tool, you have a target, you have customers to engage, I don't think it should be a problem with knowing what to do part-time, knowing where to go part-time. You know, someone was asking yesterday if there's a tool that helps you do instant follow-up. I do not. Maybe you can set reminders. Every CRM has reminders. You can set a task for yourself to remind you. But for it to do automatic follow-up for you, I don't know how that should work, because my follow-up would be a follow-up to a follow-up. We've spoken, I've sent you a text and something, but I don't just want AI to send follow-up. It doesn't come off as genius. There's no connection there. So if I'm sending an email, post a call, it's like I said, post a call. I've spoken to you, there's a text, I've met you somewhere for lunch, we've discussed, then I'm writing an email. I don't just send blind emails hoping that you respond. No. I'm able to track, have insights on my team. When I resumed an organization one time, I told the CEO that I was going to need 1 month of no selling activity to rearrange the mind of the sales team. And they were like, oh, I've never heard that before. So I said, yes, there's a mentality of the winning sales team. I needed to work on that for a month. And I took them to several documentary sales training. We designed our playbook and how we're going to run by it. We designed our terminologies for our own CRM, the intel we should work with at every point in time. And in 1 month, we did all of that. The next 5 months was magic. And I'll talk about that when I talk about the case study. So I'm able to identify, a leader is able to identify coaching opportunities and also avoid burnout risks when you look at when you're using your CRM well and you're training your people to use CRM very well. So it's on record that when I was in the team, people that use CRM well are my friends, because you're helping me and I'm helping you. I'm able to see, okay, so typical example I tell my team, the reason why you need to update your CRM from time to time with the certain kinds of intel I request is because the CEO could just be looking at it one day, or someone in the board or someone higher up could be looking at the CRM. I'm like, we're trying to meet Sharafa. Sharafa is my wife's younger sister. She's giving you a tough time. Sharafa, come home on Sunday, let's discuss. And the deal is closed for you. But when you're moving blind, you don't have so much things you're capturing to help you as a foundation. It is difficult. It can be difficult. Trust me, it can be difficult. So I remember one time my team, I noticed one lady was putting in so much work and I had to teach the team fanatical prospecting. Of course, you can't work in my team if you not haven't gone through that book at least 3 times in a month. And she was prospecting fanatically and I could see the work. When she was getting close to burnout, I just, sent her a spa voucher and asked her to take a few days off, because I can see the work. I don't need to be told. We don't come to meetings and you're telling me stories. It's show us your CRM. What's going on? What's moving? What's moving to the right? And I could tell, okay, this other person needs. You're not going on leave, okay? Okay, for working from home once a week, 2 of us will come to the office 3 times a week. So I'll see where I can help you. That's not micromanaging. That's helping you set the right foundation for success, because it shouldn't be continuous. There are times where you should be micromanaged, especially when there are no results. There are certain times what you call micromanagement is people putting extra eye on you. And if you use your CRM well, I think you got the liberty. I mean, there were times where I even had to start sending my boss daily reports. As crazy and as silly as that sounds, it's not something I would do again, but I had to gain confidence. Every day, this is what I've done. This is the challenge I'm having. This is where I need your help, boss. Tomorrow, that same email trail like continued for the period of my stay in that organization. After a while, there was no need for that. Okay, I'm seeing your email. I'm in copy. I understand what's going on. Okay, this is what we'll do. We'll discuss it at management level. The board will approve what you need and all of that. So, and also I celebrate top performers because I'm seeing data. Sometimes something happened in my team. I gave someone a smartwatch and people were angry. What do you mean? We came together, blah, 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 blah. He has not even closed this. I just went and I called everyone to the team and I showed the data that I had access to that they didn't see. And everybody was like, oh, okay, okay. So it's like IREV, was it INEC IREV? I showed how the results were coming in from the different constituencies. So results ends insults. That's what I say. So data, celebrate top performers. I send them birthday cakes. Apart from the company now, I send them smartwatches. I send them stuff to make their life happy, and spa vouchers when I see results. Because from where I sit, I can see who's actually doing the work. It's a record when I was at Seamless. I personally imputed 5,000 contacts into the CRM because I'm crazy like that when it comes to prospecting. It was in September. I just sat down one day, got a tool to do mass emailing and reaching out to people, and 5,000 leads came into the CRM. And from that 5,000, about 750, demos came about, data. And I can say that because I remember. So I want to talk about real quick, real world example, a case study of what we were able to do while I was head of revenue at Paid HR. And at this time, when I came into the business, okay, no, let me not be ahead of myself now. So when I came into the business, I should just say the way it is. There's no other way. The entire funnel was around 58 million. The entire funnel was 58 million. And in 5 months, we had moved it to 800 million in 5 months, selling HR, which I don't like to sell, by the way. Now, I've said it. I don't like to sell HR because if anything happens in this country, the first budget to be slashed in any organization is HR budget. So it's frustrating to sell, like your general tech tool or anything else, So, but what did we do? First off, CRM was not in use. There was a data manager who was using Excel. She built this fantastic CRM that she felt was working for them, but I felt there's so much more I need to get done that this would not be able to. But we can, integrate what you've done with HubSpot and let's work out something. But we need to have a richer CRM experience that we can actually tell a beautiful story with, So once we were able to get back on HubSpot, they had about 300, if not less than that, maybe less than 300 companies on the CRM when I came in. But I left it in good condition, a very good condition, with thousands of companies or contacts on the CRM because of my experience in this space. I know a few companies by head, a few people should talk to and all that, and relationships in the past. The SDR went from looking for leads to now closing smaller deals, and I'll talk about that in the next slide. So this progress was made, jumping from that's about 1,200% jump from 58 million to 800. So what we did was I had to have the team. I'll show that sheet to you sometime soon. There's the kind of intel I wanted, who we're talking to, what they're looking for in terms of cost, what features interest them, and what's the timeline. So your band's, metric, right? And when we realized that, okay, some guys Seamless will not do below 20 users, and Seamless didn't have as much, certain things that we had. Paid HR at the time had, cross-border had, and early wage access had, remittances and all of those things. I said, okay, you know what? Let's go and sell to the guys that want to buy for just 2 seats. As far as they're going to pay taxes with us, they're going to remit all of those things, do cross-border payments. I don't care. So we're going to make more money, and we did. So we went sold at a lower price to them at the time. We had features that they wanted because in our intel gathering, we've identified those things, and the timeline works for us. You could onboard yourself on paid HR at the time. Seamless, you could not do that. They needed to onboard you. So imagine when there's uptime and there's a lot of onboarding to be done, yours could be done in 2 weeks or 6 weeks, But paid HR, you could just go and do it yourself. So we found something that worked. I'll use that CRM to our advantage, So I always say to my teams and to anywhere I find myself that data gives direction. Direction gives momentum. Data gives direction. Direction gives. So once I'm in this direction and I'm winning everything along the way, it's giving me momentum to do more. So if normally I would take 4 demos a day because, oh, okay, these are slow. But now I'm seeing that these guys I'm talking to are coming on board real quick. I can increase that to 12. There's nothing to, I've done demos by 9 p.m., by 11. I've done demos on Saturday, on Sunday. As far as there's someone that wants to listen, I will talk and I will sell. So CRM Insights transformed our sales conversations from being reactive to being proactive. We stopped chasing numbers and started building relationships with those who were tired of certain kinds of HR tools. To start building relationships with them, to say, we see your pain. And I always say, no competitor slander is tolerated anyway I'm selling. So the fact that I say it's not us against them, it's us together solving a problem in the market. We're here to help you. These are the things we've done that others are not looking at because it will take them some time, but we've done it. So what did we find out? What were our key findings? CRM help us identify high-performing sales channels and customer segments. Oh, we found a sweet spot, and I don't want to go into all that detail, but leverage access was a sure bet. White label was a sure bet. Cross-border payments, cross-border disbursement was a sure bet, and tax remittances was fantastic. We found out that, okay, these things were moving in our advantage. People were asking for this stuff in our conversation. We're noting it down in our CRM that, okay, keywords, this person is interested in this, which other guys don't have. Once you mention something nobody else has, I'm not giving you a discount because I have you where I want you. Now, another thing we found out was that a lot of people were coming because now we were selling what Seamless would not do. Seamless could not do anything below 20. So now I said, SDR, anything below 20, you take care of, so that guys can focus on other important conversations, like important as well. I mean, very large conversations. So anything below 20, even up to 50 sometimes, SDR will take care of that because we saw the numbers. They were coming in every day, so take care of all that. Then forecasting accuracy improved by 40% because we could now tell that, okay, we had a conversion problem of, say, I don't want to go into the ratio, but we saw the conversion. I had to start teaching the team the law of replacement. So I mentioned we took out a competitor in a crisis situation just by understanding the buying pattern of their customers. So we understood what the buying pattern was because in our CRM would ask for those things and it worked to our advantage. I've talked so much about these things I always ask for. Let me just show you just a little bit. Oops. Let me show you a little bit of what I always ask for. I don't know if anyone can see my screen, what I'm sharing right now. Can anybody see what I'm sharing? Ooh, there have been comments.
Oh, yes, we can. Kenneth.
Okay. Great. So this is what, so if I ever get to an environment where there's no CRM, there's no structured way of gathering intel, the first things I need from you when talking to any business is this: name of business, problem statement, pain area. What challenge or pain are they facing today? How much is this pain worth or costing them? What do they currently use to manage the process today? What would make them stay with the status quo, even if they're not happy with it? Decision maker. So I've mentioned this, I should highlight these areas. Oops. Decision maker, who is the final decision maker on this deal? Please state their name and designation. Who's the champion? Who's your inside advocate in the business? Name and designation. Who's your influencer? Who are the key influencers on this? State their names and designation. Process owner, your contacts person and their name, estimated transaction value, estimated close dates, and category. So category, I'll explain to you later. This is something if you find this anywhere in this world, I've seen different variations of it. It must be someone I shared it with. There's certain things I would share that if you find it anywhere, it is someone I shared it with. Then it also helps me do account mapping. So for instance, I want to sell to Zenith Bank. This is the kind of information I need the first time we're entering anything about them in the CRM. Status quo, change drivers, change inhibitors, business objectives. Simple, straight to the point. Now let me show you the big one. The big one. I don't think I would share this, so I think you should just pay attention. I don't share this, but I've shared it to a few people and I've seen different variations at different places. So I talked about category here. Oh, no, I talked about it here. At the last thing, category. So if I have a target of $10 million to make in a year, can anyone see my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'll divide it into, these are the customer categories. But this is not CR, this is Excel now. I'll divide it into two segments. So I have 6 of them: whales, elephants, cows, antelopes, rabbits, flies. Depends on what you sell. Whales could be African Union, Afri-Exim Bank, that's multinational, or multi-country, wants to do some buy solution I'm selling. So that's going to be business development and sales led. So we put a cap to that. So that's deals from say $5 million upwards. Then we have elephant size deals. So maybe that's a government, wants to take on a solution. Maybe a state wants to adopt a solution I'm selling. That would be $1 million upwards. Then cow size deals are anything from $500,000 upwards. So now see, I will set up a category based off the targets we have for the year, and we have antelope size deals, rabbit size, flies. These are things that marketing can generate, lead generation can do. You go to dry text, moonshot to collect people's numbers, all those marketing generated leads, can handle. But for the sales managers, the kind of deals I'm expecting to come from you are from here upwards, because that's what my CRM has shown me. You have the capacity to do this. Now, I begin to take them industry by industry. And this is where it gets interesting. So let me say all banks in Nigeria. We have, soon we're going to have just 24, 23 banks in Nigeria, I guess. 23, yep. 23, 22 by end of this year. Or 22 banks, if not, maybe 20. So now I have all of them here. I would look at the type, the subsector, what they do. I'll look at, am I doing a direct sales to them or partnering with them to sell to their customers? This is not CRM, this is just Excel now. So you can translate this into your CRM. I'm looking at the estimated deal size for this conversation I'm having. And I'm also looking at the status. Is it a green? Is it a gold? Is it an amber? The annual budgets this company has for the kind of thing I'm selling. So if it's a tech solution, they have tech budgets. So I need to build enough relationships in there to know what it is. If a company has $6 million, has its tech targets that year, I'm beginning to make up my mind. How much from this company do I want to take to my business from what I'm selling? Now, this is the big one. The decision makers, I've talked about that. Final decision maker, I talked about it here, if you remember. The reason why I wanted all of this is so that we can put it here. The name, phone number, email address, everything, we'll find it. So now imagine you have a sheet like this. People ask me for this sheet, but I don't give it. But we'll find a way around it. I could change my mind. Now imagine have a sheet like this, and I tell your management you need a tool like Lucia or Apollo or what's the other one now? There are plenty of them. And you need to be able to get these email addresses because you don't have them. You want to do account-based management. You want account-based marketing. You want to do multi-channel. Is it multi-channeling now? Yeah, multi-channel approach. Yeah. How do you get those details? You only have one. Someone will not be willing to give his boss's number, phone number, whatever. But with those tools, you're able to get all these things. So this is what you've designed, but you need help to take it on from here. Management could decide to look at or consider what you're saying. Now, critical part of my intel is the current system you use in that organization, the critical pain they're having, the switch period, when are they likely to switch? The current solution they're using, when is it expiring? The currency they currently pay in, is it being paid for in dollars or in naira? If it's in dollars, good news for me because I'm pricing in naira. And how likely are they to consider a new software? This one has to do with internal politics. So is there someone in the business who would rather die? Like my Access Bank is a Microsoft environment. It would be difficult to remove Microsoft from Access Bank. So when you understand that, if you're selling Azure, you are good. But if you're selling Huawei Cloud or whatever, go and meet MTN, So you can do this across industries. I sat down one day in a training room, or just listening to I attended the training, sales training. The facilitator was saying something totally different, but I was getting inspiration for this. And I did this. I went to start with the CBN site and I copied this for, I just sat down and I copied all the banks that had license in Nigeria. I did this for insurance. I've done this for microfinance banks. We have 700 plus microfinance banks in Nigeria. We have around 140 in Lagos, all the names. So imagine doing all of this for a particular financial service industry. You can't say you don't have leads to engage. I've done this for quite a number of industries. And guess what? I took it all the way to say I'm going to do it for the government as well. All the ministries in Nigeria, all the ministries, all of them. say let's take Lagos State, for instance. All the agencies of government in Lagos. I might decide to now take the 36 states and begin to do this. So there's no excuse as a salesperson when you have, imagine have this kind of data, rich intelligence to go into a market. And I did all the federal agencies as well. This one I even went into details of what they do, subsector, agricultural sector. Oh, okay. I know, am I going to sell directly to them or am I partnering with them or whatever it is? Building a rich source of a foundation where I can build, whatever I'm building on. So let me leave this now. Just go back to finishing my slide. So yeah, making CRM work for you. Segment data by behavior, industry, and deal size. So now imagine I have done all of those work, so I can do this. I can segment, say, data by an industry, financial service, like I just showed you, all the banks, financial, microfinance, mobile money operators, payment service banks, all of them. And I can now decide to start, dropping down, shift down, category, deal size, all of that. Then I can set, reminders, auto reminders. Say, okay, this week we're doing campaigns for, or I'm doing follow-up. I'm doing this for this industry, for this sector, and all of that. Sorry, the gen should have been up by now. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Give me a second.
Hi, Kenneth, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I had to tell my guard to turn the gen on. So yeah, I use dashboards to track KPIs in real time. I can integrate CRM with marketing, with support, and all of that, because when you're intentional about where you want to go, I think every step matters to you. And I always tell people, start with the metric that's most important to your team. So do you want to take an industry? Do you want to take a particular market? Do you want to take a particular country? If you're that intentional, then every step matters to you. These are the things you need to look out for. Integrating your CRM tool with marketing gives you a lot of insight into the kinds of campaigns that should be done because of the kinds of leads you're getting. You see. So let's move along. I have just a few more slides. So CRM mistakes to avoid. This is very important. Very important. So I wrote three things. Dirty data, duplicates. You look at a company that has 60,000 emails or 60,000 contacts in their CRM. And oh yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you. Can everyone see me now? Hope everyone
Yes.
can see me. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So now I imagine a company that has, say, 60,000. What's this? Oh, just give me a second. So a company has 60,000, say, email addresses in their CRM or 60,000 contacts. Of that 60,000, maybe say 20,000 are outdated. You just because I've seen that happen before. So I wrote something down here to ask everyone, and I think, let me look for it so I can ask the team, I can ask everyone. Yeah, I was going to ask everyone something. So it's important that, yeah, outdated information in your CRM should be removed as often as possible. As often as possible, outdated info. So for instance, Heritage Bank is no more a bank in Nigeria. Why is Savannah Bank in your CRM? When I ask those questions, people are like, the contacts now. I'm like, I guess, yes, some people may have left and you have their phone numbers. So that's why you have LinkedIn. So I take the person's name, go check where they're working now, or I have their number, I can call them up. Oh, hi, we used to do business when you were here. I need your help with this person here. Fine. But don't clog CRM with all those information because you're paying for space. If you move from 500, users to 5,000 users, you're not paying the same thing. So you should be very mindful of the kinds of data you store in your CRM. So second is overcomplicated dashboards that confuse rather than clarify. Some companies, you see their CRM is so scattered. There's nothing to take out of it. It's just fanciful, looking fine and all that, but doesn't help me. Then ignoring behavioral data in favor of vanity metrics. This one. So I used to be in a team where, let me even explain what vanity metrics means. So vanity metrics means numbers that are very impressive, but they don't necessarily drive any meaningful action or reflect state of performance of anything. They'll tell you, oh, 16,000 people downloaded our white paper last week. We had the total number of leads in our CRM now has now reached 2,000, and it's still clap. Oh, very good, very good. Total number of emails sent last week was 15,000. Social media followers, especially on X, increased by 80% last week. And I'm like, what are you people talking about? So I was always in contention with this team because of course, the team that's responsible for this. Until it doesn't translate. These are vanity metrics. Because they're like, oh, we had 400 MQs last week, 400 MQs. Until we only had 28 emails, for demo, of which only maybe 8 have responded to a time. So they are easy to measure and easy to celebrate, but they are very misleading. Vanity metrics, as much as you can, remove them from your CRM, because bad data leads to bad decisions. You need to protect your truth at all times. You need to protect your truth. CRM is a single source of truth. It's a mirror of your business. You need to protect it. Then CRM as a mindset, not as a tool. Make data part of your daily conversations. We can't have one-on-ones without your CRM. We can't have conversations without your CRM. So as you're coming for one-on-ones, you bring your laptop. Well, you're walking me through it, what you need help with. We're seeing the numbers, So train teams to interpret and act on insights. Don't just be moved by emotions. I don't like emotions. Doesn't help anybody, because that's how you tell your boss how you're doing, what you're doing. I like money. I like to ask for increase when I can. So it's my CRM I take to and say, okay, in the history of this company, how can I tell that I was able to do this? If not that I was measuring it, it's there for everyone to see. And celebrate small wins backed by data. As far as there's data to back this claim, this success, I reward it anytime I see it. So Peter Drucker has a saying that culture eats strategy for breakfast, but I added, especially when it is data fed. If you have a data fed strategy, and you have bad data there, I'm sorry, but the work. So immediate action plans I would like to advise is audit your current CRM setup and data quality, and define 3 metrics, or it could be less, tied to your business outcomes that you should start seeing. Like I just gave you guys examples of certain information I need to see in the CRM. If you're talking about a particular deal, I need to know who the CEO is. If possible, the chairman of the company. If possible, the father of the chairman. Everybody associated, they're implicated. It's called intelligence for a reason. It's called intelligence for a reason. Because I could know someone, you are 4 persons away from anybody you need to meet as a salesperson. You should always understand that. You're 4 persons away from anybody. One person makes a call for you, that makes another call, and you're there. So I was going to ask a question here that how often should a CRM be, or should you conduct a CRM cleanup or audit? I'd like your responses, please. How often should you conduct CRM cleanup or audits? How frequently? It'd be nice to get responses. So, how often do you think CRM audit should be done, or CRM cleanup should be done, to remove this duplicate I'm talking about, to remove inactive leads or someone that's churned, every 3 months? Awesome. 6 months, yearly, quarterly. I love it. Monthly. Okay. Monthly should be fine. Okay. Thank you, Michael. Depending on the sector. Oh, I like that too. Depending on the sector. Okay. Any more? How often should you do a CRM cleanup or audit for your CRM? Quarterly. Okay, so let me give a response. I agree to monthly, quarterly, and annually, but let's put it in perspective. Monthly is too close, depending on the product or service. I agree with you, but we can do we can check for missing fields every month. So for instance, you don't have emails for a particular contact, you don't have phone number for a particular contact, that should not escape a month. 30 days is enough time for us to find those missing fields in the CRM. That's what I suggest. Because why should I have 16 people for working at ARM pension and I only have phone number for 8? I want to have phone numbers for everybody in that CRM. I can pick up and call everybody. I can multi-channel everybody. That's what we need. So monthly, that should be done. So remove obvious duplicates. That should be done monthly. Duplicates make you pay for extra space. Update due stage and close dates. That should be done, if possible, weekly. So if we do B2C, one decision maker, 1 month is great. Okay, I agree with you. You're correct. Any which way, you know. So for quarterly, this is now deep audit you're doing. For quarterly, you're reviewing the accuracy across all fields. You're validating segmentation. So for instance, I'm doing a deal with MTN in Congo, and that same deal will also extend to MTN in Botswana, but it's in a cow category. It's not, that means it's not getting as much importance as it should, because the categories also makes me know how much I should copy the CEO or copy the higher ups, so they should be aware of how much they should be informed. So reassess automation rules and your workflows in your CRM quarterly. That's for deep audit, like I mentioned. And for annually, I think that's where you need to evaluate the structure of your CRM annual against the current business goals. Are we in tandem? We're looking at how much close lost we have compared to how much close won. So, for instance, we looked at one time at one of the businesses I led, and we had the same amount of close lost as close won. It was problem. It was problem. Even though some of those things were, prematurely imputed into the CRM, which was what we eventually found, but it was not good at all. It was not, but it was good revelation for us. So now people needed to properly qualify a lead before. You don't just, there's sometimes I send a quotation to a client, I don't put it in the CRM, just so that I avoid all these issues. Then revisit KPIs and dashboards annually, conduct team training, refreshers, upgrades. If there are upgrades in the CRM so you're using, please upgrade as much as you can, and that should not escape annual. So yeah, it's been I think how many more now to go? CRM is a competitive advantage. I'm done. Data is not just a tool, it's your compass. Your customers are speaking through data. Are you listening? Are you listening? Your customers are speaking through data. Are you listening? And I was going to ask a question. What's your CRM story? What's one CRM insight that changed how you sell? It'd be nice to have someone speak up at this point. I know some persons are shy, but I am a shy guy and I've been talking. And for the last 1 hour, I think it'd be nice for someone to speak. What's your CRM story? What's one CRM insight that changed how you sell? It'd be nice to hear someone, or I'll call names. I'm seeing some very beautiful names here. I'm seeing Ajarita, Bolo, Dennis, Edafe, Ehinome. Hello. I'm seeing Faith Inyang. I like Faith Inyang. So Faith, if you can, I would like to hear you. Then Benga, Ademoyiwa, Holy Annie, Isaiah, Kwejo, Michael, Nkechi, Olufemlayo, Pinku. Pinku, I used to have a friend from Tanzania called Pinku. I hope she's the one. Praise A. Titi. Okay, Titi is no taker than Tosin. Otibe. Otibe sounds like someone I knew from Landmark. So I'd like someone to just speak up. Tell us about an insight you got from CRM that changed how you sell. I've been talking all day. With that, we're done. Anybody? If you don't want to talk, and just type it in the chat box if you can. Everybody's shy today. What's going on?
I'm waiting for the shy guys and shy ladies.
Whoever responds, I would send that my sheets. Yes, that's the only person I'll send the sheets to.
It's a very good motivation. At this point, let me just hold back and not motivate anybody anymore.
Whoever responds, the first 2 persons to respond, I usually don't share that my Intel sheet, but I would share that the 2 persons that respond. What's an insight that you found from CRM one time that changed how you sell? Anybody wants to take with them my sales intel?
Okay, so I've been raising my hand, so can anybody hear me?
Oh yeah, Isaiah,
Hello?
go ahead. Sorry, I couldn't see your hand. Go ahead, Isaiah. Go ahead.
Okay. I hope I can still ask my questions. It's not like
sure,
one is
please.
one. Yeah. Okay. So I used to work in a tech company where we sell APIs, right? And although at the time we're just trying to get into HubSpot, which I failed woefully at, by the way, I'm owning it. I noticed that most of our deals, we had a lot of inbound. So smaller companies come and be like, oh, we want to use your APIs and that kind of thing. However, we noticed that when it comes to, so the biggest stages was, so I did this drop down thing personally before I shared to my team, where I always update this stage. And I noticed that a lot of our deals hang between SLA integrations when they come live, right? And when I had conversations with most of these customers, we noticed that number one, it's either they were not comfortable with the pricing, but because I mean you're not really paying anything at that time, you just go with the flow and probably just join our Slack or at that time, majorly Slack group, right, with your engineers, and they just leave it there. Or they are integrating and probably their head of engineering um, their head of engineering probably doesn't quote unquote know his onion and it's doesn't know how to integrate with the API or communicate with the API. And I don't know if it's pride or something, but they would not talk about it. They will just be there and they'll be the head of engineering will just be boboing the whole team for months and months. And I did that for over like 1 month. I just started having meetings with these people. I'm like, okay, it's a safe space, not doing therapy. And after that, we're able to like move some of these deals. And we're able to like, okay, some of these people cannot just afford services and we moved on. Yeah,
That
that's my
is space.
experience. Thank you.
That is a safe space. I love it. Thank you very much, Isaiah. That was interesting. I mean, yes, you see that? See, my dear, eyes have seen things. Eyes have seen things. But yes, I resonate. I know that line between what I ordered versus what I got, you know, um, we went and promised something that we cannot deliver. Now the deal is stuck in POC. I can't move forward. The business is expecting me to close the deal. But we've noticed that plenty of deals are stuck in POC. What's happening? Product will say they're not demoing the products very well. We will not say, no, they're not delivering on the POC promise. I've been there. So when it became too much that a lot of deals were stuck in that area, the business had to call for a meeting and we had to look at the notes, in each of these deals to see that this customer is not pleased with the outcome of the POC. And of course, since your email is integrated, I could see the email response of the customer and they knew, at this point, we need to find a way by hook or crook to integrate with this with the third-party applications that the business needed. So yes, POC is proof of concept. POC is proof of concept. So you can check that out. So for instance, you want to use Salesforce now, and you tell them that, okay, my company wants us to try it for a month and see if it works for us before we're able to pay. It's going to be long. So just speak up. Okay, if it's going to be long, just type however you can type it. So proof of concept is you want to use Salesforce, for instance. Now you reach out to your business like, oh, it's expensive. Can we try that and see if it meets what we're trying to do, if it helps us, and you use it for a month? Then the Salesforce is telling you that, okay, no, before you go ahead, though, this is our invoice. So you're committing that after you successfully try this for a month, they're going to pay, or else the data you've put in there, you can't extract any analytics out of it until you've paid us. So, there are funny ways to tie those things like that. So that's what a POC is, Some people call it proof of concept, some people call it different names, but POC then. After a POC has been agreed on, so now sometimes we send SLAs before POC, sometimes SLAs come after POC, so it depends. Yes, thank you. I think time up. Nobody else wants to speak up. Isaiah, you're proudly the owner of my Intel document. I'll just create a folder and share it with you. So yeah, I wanted someone to speak up. So I think with that, we've come to the end of my session. I hope you got value for your time, and I'd like to take questions if there are any questions. And these are my details. You can reach out to me so we can connect. Someone says, during my time working as a salesperson and an educational consultant for an edtech company, from data from CRM, I found out that courses like software and cybersecurity has a short sales life cycle. while some courses like data analytics, graphics design, and others have a longer sales life cycle. This changed my approach with the way I follow up with my leads monthly and helped me hit my target monthly. Fantastic, fantastic. This is fantastic insights. Fantastic insights. I got to much value despite coming in late. Thank you. Thank you very much, Nkechi Kanayo. Thank you, Isaiah. I can see your hands up. Do you still want to say something? But if there are questions, I don't know if we have time to take questions, but it'd be nice to answer your questions, and let's take this on.
Every time I think like, we've had a fantastic session, the next one just gives it another vibe, another energy. And it just feels like this should not end, right? Because every time you think you've heard everything, the next tutor brings in another energy, another twist. This is amazing. Like, I thought we've had practical sessions, but then this is another dimension. And I'm super excited that we have an additional day, because even today I was like, do you really need an additional day after yesterday? But I'm here today, I'm like, no. It wouldn't have been great if we didn't have this session before closing out on the 3-day workshop. Amazing session. If today you became, because I was one of those people that, became a manager without much mentorship. So it was chaotic. Everybody thinks, she's smart, she should be able to deal. And then you're like, I don't think I know what to do. I feel like with this session alone, if you are currently in the shoes that I was a couple of years ago, right, you shouldn't have that problem, because it's like a masterclass for sales leadership, and it's amazing. Thank you so much, Kenneth, for all of the practical insights that you shared. Exactly, Michael, I feel the exact same way. Nkechi, same here as well. Amazing session. I felt like, Gertrude's session, was fantastic in terms of sales optimization. This actually even added a lot of icing to the cake. Thank you so much, Kenneth. We are ending with you, but then we're ending strong. And I'm so excited with the energy. Nobody dropped. Most people that dropped are coming back in. And that's like a testament of, how much it's hard to get fantastic energy on the last day of a 3-day session. So for the chat box with this busy, we're super excited for this. I learned so much myself. I learned a lot of things. It's really amazing. I think my own CRM story would be, when you have that weighted deal in your CRMs, then I realized that it is not every service or every product that needs it.
Yeah.
There's some services, especially when you're doing heavy ticket service, please don't put weighted until it has gotten to proposal negotiations, because you'll be seeing $1 million in your pipeline and you are thinking that you have deals. Hey, deals that have not gotten that they've not seen proposal yet. The client has not seen how much they will be. The prospect has not seen how much they'll be paying yet. So, I realized that with different products that you're selling, it's different metrics. Success means different things for each product, for each service, for each solution, right? Even the kind of metrics that you track, it's different for each product. If you're selling APIs or things that doesn't require instant payment, right, you can be counting certain things. But when you move to a different ball game, a completely different solution, let's say you're selling a cloud service or you're selling an engineering service like I do, that one deal can be like 50 million. You're telling somebody to pay 50 million upfront. It's a different ball game. They're not just integrating and engineering.
Hey.
And this is Nigeria. They're not just, integrating and then looking at how it goes.
Lord.
It's different, right? And then that helped me to even help a lot of salespeople that joined the company better. Help them, because we have people that were coming from SaaS background, people that were coming from, integration background, selling APIs, and then they were doing fantastically well. And then they come in and it takes them like the first 2-3 months to realize, okay. And, even you as a leader, as you switch products that you sell, you get insight into how to track each one of them better, and then how to now use your CRM insights differently. How I would use it at paid HR might not be how I would use it, here at Enyata, might not be how I would use it when I'm selling a real estate product, because that's like another life on its own. Or when I'm selling, hardware, right? Or I'm selling, servers. You're selling like on-prem servers. You're selling heavy duty stuff. You're selling infrastructure services to banks. You're selling cyber security. It's just really amazing. It's different. Thank you so much for today, Kenneth. I've had a fantastic time, and thank you so much for helping us to end the TSP annual workshop for 2025 on a very strong note. And we're coming to beg you very soon. Those resources that you just shared, our people will not forgive us if we're not able to beg you. And for some of them that you can share, super important, things that you just shared. You never know what would change somebody's strategy here, or what somebody would take to their Monday meeting tomorrow to their teams, or would even share to their sales leader and say, I learned something over the weekend, and I think it's time for us to incorporate this into our processes. This is amazing. If you enjoyed today's session as much as I did, let me see reactions. Let me see comments in the chat box. Give me all of the energy, because I've had a time. Exactly. Thank you so much, Kenneth. Thank you so much, everyone. And before we go, please let's turn on our cameras if you can. Let's take a fantastic, virtual selfie, and say, workshop 2025. Who's ready? The amazing session. I agree, Tosin. I completely agree. I agree. Let's see the cameras, guys. Let's see your cameras. Let's see your cameras. Let's see your cameras.
Alrighty.
Yep. More people. Because if come day 1, day 2, in fact, if you attended all 3 days, you're an MVP. If you attended 2 days, you are somewhat of an OG. If you're able to attend just 1 day, don't worry. There are recordings. More people. Let's take a selfie. This has been great. In fact, the way we ended is just, that perfect bow out. Yeah. More people. I can see praise. I can see Isaiah now. Fantastic. Isaiah just disappeared though. Okay, Dennis is here. Dennis has a cat. Yeah, very cute. Okay, who else is joining us? Aha. Let me open this up so that we get to see everybody. Cool. Who else is joining us? First selfie take. Say TSP Workshop 2025. Get you shy. Oh my gosh.
Good to see Koi again.
Okay.